Thank you for taking the time to speak with us today. In this portion of the interview, we're hoping to get a clearer sense of how you build relationships, provide clarity and consistency, as well as create meaningful challenge within your classroom. We'll begin with a warm-up question before diving into 3 content-based questions. These will focus on how you foster engagement by balancing support and stretch. Are you ready to begin?
Yes, sir.
All right, warm-up questions. Let's begin with something a little personal. What intentionally drew you to teaching, and what continues to motivate you today, especially on those hard days?
I would say initially it was like my mom being a teacher and my aunt and just really loving school as a child. And then what motivates me is like actually going into the classroom and seeing just the excitement on the students' faces, and like just seeing the growth. I feel like that's really cool and really important, and that's what motivates me.
Awesome. Question number 2, relationships and a sense of belonging. Research shows that strong relationships are at the core of student engagement. How do you intentionally build relationships with students who are quiet, resistant, or hard to connect with? How do you help them feel like they belong in your classroom?
I feel like it starts with that first day, just welcoming them in with open arms and having side conversations with them that aren't focused solely on school and more so focused on like their interests and getting to know who they are as a person. And like the ones that are hard to connect with, I think it's definitely important making sure that you can talk to them about their friends and like if they need help making friends and just kind of creating groups where they can interact with others. And then how do I help them feel like they belong in the classroom? I feel like creating a comfortable classroom where there's affirmations around the classroom where they feel important, they feel loved, and just continuing to give them positive reinforcements.
Awesome. Next question, clarity, structure, scaffolding. Students can't meet high expectations if they don't understand what is expected of them. How do you design learning environments that provide both clarity and consistency while still leaving room for curiosity and creativity? What routines or scaffolds do you use to help students feel secure enough to take risks?
I feel like creating learning environments where it's not just tests and writing essays and things like that, but more fun things like creating games and creating activities where they can be moving, but also making sure that the expectations are clear and the instructions are clear, but letting them be creative and use different levels of engagement to make sure that they are getting to be themselves and showing that in the classroom. And then what routines? I would say just every morning making sure that they know the expectations for the day and they know that I want them to do their best. And just showing them that it's okay to make mistakes and that I make mistakes and telling them when I make mistakes, not like hiding it and them thinking that, oh, we can't make mistakes because our teacher never makes mistakes, because nobody's perfect, everybody makes mistakes. So.
Awesome. Question number 4, academic growth and challenge. Now, what does productive struggle look like in your specific classroom? How do you help students push beyond what they already know without shutting them down? And can you give an example of how you create tasks that stretch students into new ways of thinking?
I feel like productive struggle looks like trying new strategies, looking at it from a different way, maybe working with a partner that's also struggling so then you can scaffold off of each other's ideas. How do I help them push beyond, like giving them encouragement continuously and letting them know that it's okay to struggle and that they'll figure it out, and giving them maybe little hints along the way, just kind of wherever they need it. And an example, I definitely feel like when we created a escape room, the students were struggling at first and we gave them little hints when need be, but we also let them try other ways of thinking, even though we could see that it wasn't right, but letting them struggle and kind of think through their process of like elimination and things like that. So I think that would be my example, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing your vision and classroom practices with us. It's clear that you are thoughtful about how to support students while also challenging them to grow. Before we end, do you have any questions or anything you'd like to add?
No, sir.
Awesome. Have a great day.